$1 billion commitment to reach tens of millions of people over the next decade, Comcast is working to ensure all Philadelphians have the skills, resources, and opportunities they need to participate and excel in an increasingly digital world. This includes partnering with community experts to build a network of digital navigators, trusted individuals who help build awareness around initiatives like the government's Affordable Connectivity Program and teach critical digital skills to get more people online. Project Up, building a future of unlimited possibilities. Learn more at comcast.com/Project Up. Through Project Up, Comcast is committing $1 billion to build a future of unlimited possibilities.
Hey, Philly homeowners, did you recently receive your real estate tax bill in the mail? The city of Philadelphia has a special program qualifying homeowners can receive a one-time credit up to $500 added to their real estate tax account. It can be used for 2023 or 2024 tax bill, or as a credit for future years. Apply at phila.gov/council.tax-credit before January 31st, 2024. phila.gov/council.tax-credit.
Okay, how many people in here have ever been in love? I know none of the guys gonna raise their hand, but how many of y'all ever been in love?
Seasoned singles, listen up. Word Radio is crafting a sophisticated and fun event for singles ages 40 and up. Mark Tuesday, February 13th from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. on your calendar for the Love and Life Connection event and live broadcast, hosted by Carol Riddick and Dr. Marquita Williams at Bayou in West Philadelphia. This event will feature fun activities where you can meet new people and possibly make a love connection. The evening will also feature a live WURD version of the dating game. Some bachelors have already been selected, but we're looking for one special bachelorette. If you're a single woman aged 40 to 55, able to participate in person and willing to go on a sponsored date with one of the bachelors, then complete the entry form on the Word website, WURDradio.com. Mark your calendars for the Love and Life Connection event, Tuesday, February 13th from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. at Bayou, 5025 Baltimore Avenue. Stay tuned for more details on event registration and tune in to Love and Life with Carol Riddick Monday through Thursday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
These days, my happy place feels a little happier, even if the fish aren't biting.
Mental health care is working for Diego. See what it can do for you at mentalhealthcareworks.org. A message from the American Psychiatric Association Foundation.
We are the home of Progressive Black Talk Media. This is WURD 900 AM and 96.1 FM, Philadelphia. Streaming online on wordradio.com and the Word Radio app. The views and opinions expressed by the guests, listeners, and hosts of any program on Word Radio do not necessarily reflect those of the ownership, management, or advertisers of this station.
I'm simply saying that life finds a way.
All right, people, write something on the board. Let's spell it. First letter.
L-O-V-E.
What's that? What?
It's time. It's time to have real, honest, open, difficult, and inspiring conversations. It's time for Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hey there, family. Hello and welcome. Welcome to Love and Life with yours truly, Carol Riddick, right here on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, online and on air. on air and online at wordradio.com. What's wrong with me? I don't know what's happening. In any event, hey there, family. Welcome to Tuesday, January 23rd, here at Love and Life. You know, Nick and I are happy to be able to spend some time with you as always, as always, as always. I want to send some love out to our love bugs that are celebrating a happy birthday today. There I go again. I want to send some love out to our love bugs that are celebrating a birthday today. Happy birthday to you. Looks like it's going to be one of those nights. Carol is all over the place. In any event, I'm sending extra celebratory love to you if today is your birthday. Sending you oodles. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. So, family, how's your week coming along? How's everything coming along with you, for you? You know, I always ask because I always want to know. Y'all know I like to know. If you are joining us by way of social media, let us know. Share a comment or a few, you know what you can do. Or you can even give us a call. You can do that by dialing 215-634-8065. And you can even call us toll free. You can do that by dialing 1-866-361-0900. You know, we'll take the love anyway you care to share it. Yes, we will. Yes, we will. So, family, for those of you whose hearts are just a little heavy today, if your light is shining a little dimly, you know I like to send you extra love. So I'm sending you some extra love and hugs on behalf of your entire tribe and village, because I want you to know that you are not alone. We want you to know that you are not alone, okay? You hear me? You're not alone. You got this. You've got this. Family, so have you been tuning in to Cafe Mocha? Well, if you're saying, what's that? Let me tell you. Tune in to Cafe Mocha every Sunday from 8 until 10 p.m. Cafe Mocha is radio from a woman's perspective. Check out the flavor from the hosts, comedian and actress Lonnie Love, hip-hop legend Yo-Yo, and broadcast veteran Angelique Perrin, as they all bring their own point of view to today's issues, social commentary, celebrity interviews, and self-help advice. All of this wrapped in soundtracks of urban contemporary music. Family, that's Cafe Mocha. Sundays at 8 p.m. only on Word, Progressive Black Talk Media. Well, I see some of our family members are checking in. Malcolm, hey there. There's my message. Malcolm shares that he is watching and listening from West Mount Airy. Always happy to have you join us. You know that. You know that. CK2 Financials is checking in. All right, Keith. I love it. I love it. Nasir, brother Nasir Butler, that is. He's sending peace and blessings. And, you know, we receive that and send them right back to you. So is Brennan Williams. Hey, Brennan. Brennan is checking in and he's sending love and blessings to the entire Word family. Hey there, Eric. Eric is sending love too. So happy to have you all join us. We've got all the fellas tonight. Where are the ladies? What are the ladies doing? Where are my girls? We've got all the guys, but you know, I love your company, so it's all right. All right, I want to get started. Our first guest tonight is an experienced accountant with well over 15 years of combined experience servicing both corporate and nonprofit companies. He's held positions as an accounting specialist, an AP accountant, staff senior accountant, investor analyst, and finance director. Heavens to Murgatroyd. He currently serves as an entrepreneurial accounting professional and sole owner of CK2 Financials. Family, I invite you to the conversation with none other than Keith Carney. Well, hello there, good sir.
Hello, how are you today?
I won't complain. Wait a minute. You said, hello, how are you today? Listen to how you doing, Keith?
I'm doing well. I'm upbeat. It's tax season. I'm an accountant, so I'm alive and charged up and ready to go.
Well, you're all charged up because it is. Yeah, see, we kind of get sluggish when tax season comes around. I know I do. I cower when around tax season. I do. Family, okay, so I don't even want to waste anybody's time because I know there's so much to discuss
Hmm.
with this topic. So, Keith, can you start by telling us a little about you, please?
Sure thing. My name is Keith Carney Jr. Born and partially raised in Philadelphia, also raised in South Carolina, but came back in my middle school years. Graduated high school at Abraham Lincoln. Joined the military thereafter and served in the Navy. Um, when I got out the Navy, I worked at an armored truck company. And since then, I've been working with money since. So that's over 20 years. I'm a father of 2 kids. You can call me a family guy. I'm a sportsman and a traveler. So those are my hobbies and loves.
Nice.
Mhm.
Wait, how old are the babies?
My youngest is 17.
Shut.
No, wait, 16.
Wait,
I'm sorry, I got the numbers mixed up.
wait.
I know
The
my
years
son is
go by so
23.
fast.
They go by quick. If you got babies, you better enjoy them because they grow up and grow old quickly. Yes,
You
yes.
said babies, and then you said these grown men. You got grown men.
You turn around, they grown. I got a son and a daughter.
Oh, oh, wow.
17. It's 17. My daughter's 17. My son's 23.
Wow. Oh, that's beautiful. That is
Mhm.
beautiful. So, are they in the accounting world as well, the financial world as well?
No, my son is into music.
Okay.
He writes and plays instruments. And my daughter she's still undecisive. But I think she
Okay.
wants to be something like her mom, a doctor. So
Nice. Nice. Well, that's not bad either. That's
nah,
not
not
bad.
bad either. Nope, nope.
So, all right, Keith. I was sharing with Keith family just before we actually started the show. I said, I've always been embarrassed that I don't know as much about finances as I believe I should. So I thought this would be a great conversation for us to have. Um,
Mhm.
because I was saying to Keith, I said, I think we should all have an accountant, just like, we have a doctor and everything else, whether you have a business or not,
Right.
especially, because we all go about our day. We're constantly taking care of everything else. And it's the little things that get us jammed up as it pertains to our finances.
Yes. Yes. Definitely.
So I was going to ask you a question as it pertains to entrepreneurs, but this might be a question for all of this. What would you say would be one of the most important pieces of information that we should know when preparing to file our taxes?
All right. Important information to know to prepare to file your taxes. One thing you want to make sure that you have all of your tax documents. All right. So basically, if you get something in the mail and it has anything with tax on it, you want to
Mm-hmm.
include that in preparing your taxes. All right. The best way to ensure that you have all your tax documents is to have your own account created on irs.gov. If you create an account on there, you'll be able to pull your transcripts, and that will give you
Mm-hmm.
all the information that the IRS has on you. Um, outside of that, oh,
Well,
go ahead.
I have a question. So, is that as an individual as well as an entrepreneur, or would you?
So there's a different section for entrepreneur. It depends on what business structure you have, but
Okay.
whether you're personal or business, you have a way to have an account on irs.gov to make sure you get all the information you need.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Um,
I have my irs.gov account. I do.
okay,
I
okay,
feel good about that. Phew.
okay. Well, having that is definitely useful. In case you lose documents, maybe you moved in between the time that the documents are sent out. If you actually owe taxes, you can make a payment plan on there. So it's definitely a good
Mhm.
tool to have. But
When you say
outside
all
of
of, oh, I'm
mhm,
sorry. No, go
outside
ahead.
outside of having that, the other things you want to know how and where you're filing your taxes at, because you don't want to put yourself in a situation that you don't prepare for that and then at the last minute you want to file. So you want to
Mm,
eliminate any reason to rush, because taxes is most people is a once
mhm.
a year thing. So you want to get it right the first time.
So when you say all of your tax documents, what do you mean specifically?
So that will be whether you have W-2s from your employers, 1099 if you're self-employed. You can have 1099 interest forms. If you sold a house, you can have a 1099 for that. Um, what else you need? If you have kids, you're gonna need their birth certificate, social security card. If you're going to a new tax person, but basically anything with tax on it, you want to
Mm.
have that for your preparation.
Well, Keith, some of our family members are checking in, and
Mhm.
Malcolm shares, well, all right now, shipmate.
Hey, eighth
And
grade underway.
all right. And Harry says, hey, working at my homie, working at Drexel. Tell him Harold from security department said, what's up? So
Hey,
Harold
hey,
is
what's
saying,
going
hey.
on? Yeah, I was an accountant at Drexel University before too.
Well, look at that. At Drexel, at One Drexel Plaza, he shares. One
There
Drexel
you
Plaza.
go.
So
There you go.
my cousin Sherry, hey Sherry, hey there, cuz. She's shares that she moved into a new home last year. Can she write off her appliances, her washer, dryer, stove?
That's a good question. And energy efficient is one thing that you can apply for credits on your tax returns.
I did not know that. So
hmm
energy efficient appliances, you can apply for a tax credit.
Yes.
Let me write that down. Wait a
hmm
minute
hmm hmm
so let me ask you this. I'm always curious to know what those of you who work in the field feel about those of us who file out file our taxes through software, different applications and things of that nature. What are your thoughts on that?
Hmm. So software, they are
Mm.
out. They are definitely out there.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
my thoughts on that, right? It's like the software is built to guide you to make sure you file a complete tax return with no errors, but only with the information that you provide. So
Mm.
if you are due for some credits or certain deductions, the system is not just going to automatically tell you that. So in my opinion, if you're using software, you should actually know everything that kind of goes into filing taxes, so you
Mm-hmm.
can be aware of how to look and where to search. And it also gives you a good upper hand if you're good with computer software. A lot of people are not good on computers, so if you're not able to navigate software that you're unfamiliar with, then I advise you not to use software, because just like
Mm.
everything else, the software is going to change how it looks, how the processes go pretty much every year, every other year. It won't stay the same. Now they do have software where you can actually get further assistance outside of like the basics.
Mm-hmm.
You just want to make sure that you're setting yourself up for success and not wanting to go the lowest price route you can go to get your taxes done.
Mm-hmm. 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 So what are your thoughts about the businesses like the H&R Blocks and the services that are similar to that?
hmm Well, what I tell people that ask me this question, me myself, I'm a owner at a accounting and tax firm, so I have 15 plus years of experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
I do people personal and business taxes. You can go to H&R Block or a place like that, and you can be working with someone that has 6 months experience, because they hire people, right off the street. Basically, you don't have to be an
Mm-hmm.
accountant. You don't have to know anything. They say that they'll take you in with no experience and train you. So
Mm.
you can wind up with somebody that's new and they don't know what's going on. I mean, I've been doing this for over a decade, and there's
Right.
still things that I have to research. So you working with somebody 2 and 3 years under, I mean, like I say, you get what you pay for. But that's kind of the route that you take going with those big companies. They're large companies. They nationally known, um, and in my opinion, they're not for the people.
Mm. Mm. Well, they are a business, so that
Yeah.
makes sense. Yeah.
Mhm. Hmm.
Um,
But if I was to advise anyone, you should actually go to a professional, someone that's in the profession doing taxes on a regular basis, not no part-time people, like full-time tax preparers.
I was going to ask you if there were any cons, but it doesn't sound like, I mean, any pros, cons. Let me, family. Okay, it's going to be one of those nights. I did say that earlier, but clearly, clearly, I claimed it and I'm owning it because I can't get out of whatever this is. So I'm
Sorry, we're gonna
asking.
make it. We're gonna make it tonight.
Listen, they so
We're
they
gonna make
know
it
they
tonight.
are so used to me. They
Okay.
know. It's just
Okay.
one of those days. But I was going to ask if there are any pros.
Any pros?
Mm-hmm. What's any upside? What's the upside to?
I really can't tell you any pro because the first thing that came to my mind is you can have your taxes done sitting at home.
Mm-hmm.
But you can do that with a private firm like mine, CK2 Financials. So I can't say. Oh, you know what? There is a pro.
Okay.
If you want someone to do your taxes that you don't want to grow a relationship with, if you
Mm.
want someone to do your taxes that no one to know who you went, where you went to file your taxes.
Good.
Probably the only pros. People that want to, hide their information.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's probably the only pros I can think of.
All right. Well, we'll
Yeah.
take it. We'll
Oh
take
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Hey there, family. I'm talking to you. If you have just joined us, welcome. Welcome to Love and Life right here on WURD with yours truly, Carol Riddick. So you know you're invited to the conversation. I know I don't have to tell you, but I'm telling you that anyway. If you have a question, feel free to give us a call. You can do that by dialing 215-634-8065. Or you can call us toll free at 1-866 361-0900. And you can also share your comment on our socials. What we're going to do right now is take a short commercial break, but stay with us because we're coming right back.
Hey girl, what are you doing here? Aren't you going to be late for work?
Yeah, girl, I had to get my coffee and my lottery tickets.
You still play the lottery? You think you're going to win?
Says who? There's always a chance. Besides, even if I don't win, I'm helping out older Pennsylvanians in my community with each lottery ticket I buy.
How so?
Well, the PA lottery was started as a way to fund programs for seniors in our state. They've contributed over $30 billion to many programs.
30 billion with a B?
Yes, billion. The money goes to programs for property tax and rent rebates, free or reduced rides, low-cost prescriptions, home care services, and more.
I had no idea.
Yep, the PA lottery is the only state lottery whose proceeds benefit older citizens.
You know what? I think I'll get a few lottery tickets too.
There you go. Could you get me a coffee while you're at it?
Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Problem gambling, helpline 1-800-GAMBLER.
We've all felt left out. And for people who move to this country, that feeling lasts more than a moment. We can change that. Learn how at belongingbeginswithus.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
No, what's the word, boy? What's the word? What's the word?
WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hey there, family. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life with yours truly, Carol Riddick, right here on WURD. We are talking with Keith Carney. He is the owner of CK2 Financials, and we're talking about accounting. We're talking about taxes. We're talking about all things financial. So if you have a comment, a question, or anything you just want to throw out there, let us know. You can do that by giving us a call, or you can even share it in the comment section. And you know I'm going to do my best to read it aloud on the air, unless you tell me you don't want me to do so. So, Eric, has a question for us. He shares, hello, Keith, welcome to the family. Do you find that parents today do not encourage and or teach their kids early about banking, credit scores, saving money? Mm, that's a
I would say absolutely that's the case going on out here. But it's not just today. It's kind of how it's been for a while for certain sections of the country.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think sad to say, I'm in agreement with that. Harry has a question. Harry asks, "Where can we support you?" He shares, "I got my W-2 right in my backpack."
Okay. Oh yeah, that's you can find us in the Germantown section of Philadelphia, 5944 Germantown Avenue. But we also have remote services because we actually work with people in all 50 states. So long as you have a telephone and a working email, we can work with you anywhere you are.
I love it. Well, would you like to tell our family members how they can reach you as well?
Sure. So you can reach us by phone, 215-621-7936. You can reach us on the web at www.ck2financials.com. And that's financials plural with a S. You can also reach us on Instagram. We're on Facebook at CK2 Financials with an S on the end of everything.
I love that. He said, because we handle it all.
We
Okay.
handle it all. Yes, 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 yes.
So one of our other family members is checking in as well. Hey there. Vintage Green writes, hi, everybody. I hope you're enjoying your evening. My question is, what are some tax myths or red flags that we should be on the lookout for when choosing a tax professional? You just read my mind because that was my next
Hmm.
question.
So,
What?
so that's a good question. So red flags. If you have a tax preparer, they don't sign their name on it, that's a red flag. If you
Mm,
have a tax preparer, they're not giving you your paperwork, that's a red flag. If you have self-employment or a business and they're not involving you on construction your tax return, super red flag.
mm,
Yes, so definitely watch out for those red flags. Some myths, claiming other people kids, it's a
oh,
myth. It's a myth. I can tell y'all now in today's world with the IRS,
mhm.
if you file for a child for the first time, you have a high probability of getting contacted by the IRS, and they're going to want you to come to the federal building to prove that's your child. All right,
Wow.
so that filing for other people kids stuff, don't do it. Don't do it. The biggest requirement is they living with you, and there's other requirements to it as well, but that's the biggest one. So if they don't even live with you, you shouldn't even think about it. Um,
So,
oh, go ahead.
well, go ahead. Go ahead. I was going to ask something else, but
Okay, yep, yep. And another myth about just waiting to file your taxes because you owe money.
mhm.
People don't understand the tax deadline. So April 15th, that's the tax deadline if you owe taxes, right? In most cases, most people won't know if they owe taxes until they file a tax return. So it's best to file as early as possible because if you don't file by April 15th and you owe money, the penalty for not filing on time is about $400. That don't
Mm,
have anything to do with the amount of money you probably owe anyway.
wow.
So the myth about just filing when you want, the best thing to do is to file on time because that gives you the best chance of not owing and not having to pay that penalty.
Okay.
Hmm.
So, what do we look for when looking for an accountant? And that's as a personal accountant and for business. So should we look for different things or?
So you wanna find somebody that's credible. All right,
Mm, mhm,
credible because you want to be able to research them, check them out, make sure other people are working with them. Because at the end of the day, you want to trust the individual preparing your taxes. Okay.
sure.
There's so many things that go on with taxes and all the information that goes into it. I mean, I have people that contact me. They're trying to provide my information. Okay. I know tax places that sell their information. So you want to go to a trusted individual or trusted company to get your taxes filed.
Mm. No,
Absolutely.
this question, I've had this conversation, but I'm going to ask you because you are the professional. What is the difference between an LLC and an S corp?
Good question. Good question. So LLC, all right, when you get a LLC, you're only covering yourself with limited liability protection. All right. If you want to be in business, LLC is where you can start, but that's just limited liability protection. So it has nothing to do with business structuring. It has
Mm-hmm.
nothing to do with business taxes. All right. If you have an LLC and you're a single member, then you're going to be doing your business on a Schedule C on a 1040 personal tax return. So a lot of people get that mixed up saying, hey, I need to file my personal and I need to file for my business when they're an LLC. No, you have to file your personal and your business because they're all on the same tax return. All right. So a S corp the S is for single. All right. So single corporation. So you get the tax benefits as a corporation being a single member. All right, owning that business. An S corporation will allow you business credits. Um, it will keep you from paying so much in self-employment taxes,
Mm-hmm.
which you would do on a Schedule C on a 1040. But there are big differences between the both. And just to be clear, LLC you can have a single member LLC, you can have a partnership LLC. Okay, so and if you see a company with LLC on the end of their name, that doesn't mean that they're in corporate status either.
Mm.
So it's a lot of variations of a LLC. But if you're going to be self-employed, you want to make sure you know what kind of business you have. Because I definitely have a lot of people come to my office thinking they're a corporation when they're an
Mm-hmm.
S corporation, or thinking that they are a partnership and they a single member. All right.
So how do you find out if you? How do you find out?
Well, that's all determined on when you have your business set up. That's why it's important to actually have a professional get your business started. I
Mm-hmm.
would advise someone, if you wanted to take a chance on doing your own taxes and setting up your own business, you probably want to take a chance on doing your own taxes, because if you mess up setting up your own business and it's wrong, and years go by and the IRS find out about it, or you try to apply for a grant, or you try to get student aid,
Mm-hmm.
any of those things, and they come back and say, "Oh, you filed this form, but you're supposed to file this form." That can cost you thousands of dollars if you got to go back and change 3 to 4 years of tax returns. So setting up your business is
Mm.
so important. So you want to get a professional to do that. I see so many times people want to do it on their own. They want to save a couple bucks. It's not worth
Mm.
it. It's not worth it. You get what you pay for. But when you set up your business, you're basically determining what your business structure is.
Mm-hmm.
So if you let someone else set up your business, then they should be giving you the paperwork. They should be giving you articles of incorporation and an
Mm-hmm.
EIN letter. Those are
Mm-hmm.
two documents that's going to have what type of business you have.
So what are what would you say are some common mistakes that you've seen that we make when filing our taxes?
hmm Not knowing the business structure, like I just mentioned.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, it's crazy not even knowing what's on your social security card, and that's your middle initial. Because even anything on a tax return, just even as a middle initial missing, it can reject your return. All right, so you want to know all of the things that goes into your return. Also, common mistakes, um, not having all your paperwork, because
Mm-hmm.
people will think that, oh, I only had one job, I didn't have anything else. You want to make sure you recall everywhere you work. Other mistakes are not properly filling out the W-4 form at your employer. All right.
Mm.
So if your W-4 form that you complete with your employer is not correct, that can have an adverse effect on your taxes. So you want to make sure that you have the right withholding being taken out of your paychecks.
I'm glad you said that. That you know what? Years ago when I first, of course, started working, I did not know whether I was exempt or not. I never knew, you know, when you're filling out your W-9, like, wait, am I exempt? How do I know? What does that mean? What does that? So, family, anybody who's saying, yeah, I have that question or I had that question, can you talk with us about that as well?
Hmm. Exempt. There's a lot of factors that go into it, right? But I'll
Hmm.
say just to keep it short so no one get confused. All
Okay.
right. If you are over the ages of 18, okay, working of working individual, no disabilities, you don't have a nonprofit business. If those things don't apply, you're pretty much going to have to pay taxes. You're not exempt.
Hmm.
You're not exempt. It's only special situations where people are exempt, and that's due to age, disability, and having a nonprofit business.
So Harry has a question. Harry
Mhm.
wants to know, does CK2 financials offer education classes?
Well, I do education consultation. Like I said previously, I worked as an accountant at Drexel University. So between my own schooling and I worked at university, I've been in the school system and I worked at charter schools too. So I have, from myself being in school and working in school systems, about
Mhm.
14, 15 years of experience. I also worked in like the enrollment department. So I definitely give education on, you know, how to save for college, how to
Mhm.
apply for grants for college, FAFSA forms, tax implications when you're in school. How do you file that on your taxes? Especially for parents that have kids that's in school. So if you're a parent, your kid in school, you can still claim your child. If your child is in school, you can claim them up to 24 years old. Okay,
Mm.
and since we're on the subject, filing taxes when it comes to family, it's all about what's the best benefit for the family. And when I say family, I mean the people that you live with. All right.
Mm.
Because you can be a parent and your child can go to school. They can even have a job. You can still claim your child and your child can still claim their taxes. It just needs to be done properly for that to happen.
So are you still accepting clients, Keith?
We're always accepting clients at CK2 Financials. Here at
Okay.
CK2 Financials, I'm an accountant, but in the company, I'm a CFO, the CEO. And
Okay.
we have accountants, tax preparers, and bookkeepers that work here. So I have a full staff, and yes, we're taking new clients.
Okay. So Rowena has a question. She asks, is it true that if you do not owe the IRS any tax money from last year, can you file last year's and this year's taxes?
If you don't owe taxes from
Wait,
last year, yeah, put that question.
wait, yeah, wait, Rowena, what
Yeah.
was that question? If you don't owe the IRS any tax money from last year, can you file last year and this year's taxes? I
Okay.
don't.
Not sure what she's asking specifically, but I'll just try to figure it out. So, all
Okay.
right, one thing is you can always file going back 3 years. All right. Whether you owe taxes last year, didn't owe taxes last year, that don't matter. If you didn't file is what mattered. So
Mm,
if you did not file, yes, you can file last year's taxes. And the only way some people know if they owe, if they filed or not.
mm. Oh
I get
wow.
people that say, "Oh, I didn't owe, so I'm not gonna file." Then I do their taxes and they owe, and it wasn't a lot. But if you owe $2 and don't file on time, The IRS gonna penalize you $400 plus for not filing.
Of course they are. Of course they are.
That's how they
Hey
make
there.
their money.
And they make a lot of it too. Family, because they know we don't know. We don't know. Hey there. I'm talking to you. If you just joined us, welcome to Love and Life with yours truly, Carol Riddick, right here on WURD. We are talking with Keith Carney, and we're talking about all things financial. Okay, everything. So if you have a question, share it with us by giving us a call or sharing it in our comment section. We welcome it. Or question, comment, or anything you just want to talk about as it pertains to the financial world. That's why Keith is here. And that's why we're talking with him. Right now, we're going to take a short commercial break, but family, stay with us because we're coming right back.
Want the latest in word swag? Check out the shop tab on wordradio.com. Hoodies, tees, and more in a variety of colors. It's the shop tab on wordradio.com. You can look good and show the world that you're all about Black Talk Media.
April 5th was a breakthrough day.
Once, there was a very silly bear.
During a well visit at Children's Hospital of Philadelphia Primary Care, Zach got his very first book.
Let's point to the bear.
And his mom got advice and support about the importance of reading to her 9-month-old.
Very good.
The Reach Out and Read program at CHOP has helped thousands of families open a whole new world for their children through early reading.
Right, he's right there.
Every day, Children's Hospital is making breakthroughs for kids. Some big, some small, all wondrous.
And they had a very good day.
Zach's breakthrough? Lots of happy endings that add up to a great beginning. What can we do for your child today? Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. Breakthroughs every day. Yours begins at chop.edu.
Hey, Philly homeowners, did you recently receive your real estate tax bill in the mail? The city of Philadelphia has a special program qualifying homeowners can receive a one-time credit up to $500 added to their real estate tax account. It can be used for 2023 or 2024 tax bill or as a credit for future years. Apply at phila.gov/council.tax-credit before January 31st, 2024. phila.gov/council.tax-credit.
Tune into Word Radio this Thursday at 10 a.m. for City Council Live, hosted by Ernest Owens. Join conversations that matter to your community with your local City Council members.
We're celebrating Black influence and Black excellence worldwide on the home of progressive Black Talk Media, WURD.
What is love?
You're listening to Love and Life on WURD, progressive Black Talk Media.
I think I know what love
And we are back. Hey there, family. Welcome back. You're tuned in to Love and Life right here on WURD. We are talking with Keith Carney, and we're talking about all things financial. Eric shares, this is excellent information. Thank you so much for saying it in layman terms, because it sounds wise and makes sense. It does, right? And Vintage Green shares, great information. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Keith, for coming. Okay, thank you so much. So, Keith, I received a text from a family member who asked, what did she say? She shares that she missed your response to the question about finding out about how your company was filed. She believes her company was filed as an LLC, but wants it to be an S Corp. She wants to know how she can find that out and how she can make the change.
Okay, so you can find out what type of business structure you're in from your business formation documents. And that will be your articles of incorporation. And that is from the state, wherever you filed that. If you live in Philadelphia, you would have filed your articles of incorporation in PA. The other formation document will be your EIN letter. Now, the one that was produced when the EIN was requested. All
Mm-hmm.
right. If you don't have either of those documents, you can contact the state to get your articles of incorporation, and you can contact the IRS for your EIN information. And if you want a personable experience, you can contact us at CK2 Financials because we'll help you figure all of those things out.
I was about to say she should start there.
Yeah, and yeah, or I see me. I'm gonna give out the tape. I'm gonna let people know what it takes to get from where they are to where they want to
Mhm.
be, and then I'm gonna let them know I can help them throughout the whole way, partial of the way, or spot check. So that's kind of how I do business. I'm gonna give you all the material. It's up to you if you want to do it or you want to pay us to do it, basically.
Well, no, I must say I do appreciate that. I really
Mhm.
do because it wasn't your go-to to just say, "Well, give us a call." So I really, really do appreciate that. You said, "Look, you can do this, you can do that." I do appreciate that. So I don't want that to be lost on you. I truly do. So
Yeah.
Keith, I'm looking at the time and I know we're coming to the close of the hour unless you're hanging out with us because we talk sports in the 8 o'clock hour. But I heard that they call you the financial referee. From where does that come?
Financial referee, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
They call me the financial referee because I'm also a high school football official. And I've been officiating football on a high school level and semi pro level for about 12 to 13 years, something like that. And yeah, so being a football referee and an accountant is kind of almost the same thing. I have so many people that don't like me, right? Against me. So many people that don't like what I do, and I'm just overall talking. So many people don't understand what I do. All right, but in both
Mhm.
situations, I'm basically the person that know the rules and have to relay them to either clients if we're talking about taxes or coaches and
Mhm.
players if we're talking about sports. So in both situations, I have to be trusted on my judgment of
Mhm.
me knowing what the rules are. And I can tell you that in both scenarios, I play within the rules because at the end of the day, freedom is the best thing in the world. Okay. So I play within the rules, but knowing the rules is knowing the game. But yeah, that's
You
why
know,
they call me the financial referee.
the financial referee. I love it.
Yes,
I love it.
yes,
That's a lot. High school football.
yes, yes. But I
That's a
play football myself, so it's kind of secondhand nature.
okay.
Secondhand
Oh,
nature.
well,
But what
Rowena has. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm
one
sorry.
one of the biggest things I want to make sure people understand that's listening and will watch this, okay? I worked in the corporate world for over 10 years as an accountant. I went from the bottom to the top in my time. Then I started CK2 Financial. So I started a business from nothing to something. Um, it takes a lot to be a business owner. I hear a lot
Mhm.
about people saying everybody should start their own business. That's not true because everybody is not built to run a business. Everybody is not built to be a business owner. It takes a lot to do what a business owner does. All right.
Mhm.
The second thing is, you know, and this is really for entrepreneurs and business owners. Accounting is the language of business. All right. If you are self-employed, if you run a business, if you got directors, janitors, IT, custodians, marketing, admin, one of the first people you need is an accountant. All right. An accountant. When you work for companies as an employee, guess what? That company you work for, they got accountant. Depending on how big the company is, they have multiple accountants. All right. And when you work for them, they take care of everything for you. But when you're self-employed and you have your own business, it's your responsibility. All right.
Mm.
When you go to if you under the IRS oath, they don't want to hear no excuses, none. Because as a business owner, it's your responsibility, even for tax filing. It's your responsibility, even for your tax filing. So that's why it's important to know about taxes as well, because no matter who prepare your taxes, it's your responsibility. But being a business
Mm.
owner, you need an accountant on your team. There's so many ebb and flows and variations to this accounting world, and it changes every year. It doesn't stay the same. And you want somebody professional, abreast, work all year round, and diligent and detail oriented to be able to make it.
Mm. No, thank you for that, Keith. I
Hmm.
appreciate that too. I was sharing with you that Rowena wanted to clarify. She shared that
Okay. Okay.
she worded it differently, but she meant to ask if you did not file taxes last year. Can you file last year's and this year's taxes?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Unfortunately, maybe 10 to 20 times a year, I get 10 to 20 people coming in here filing 3 years at one time.
Mm.
So yes, you can go back and file last year's if you did not file. Tax season start on the 29th. Electronic filing system will be open on Monday.
Oh, I don't. So you were talking about. I wanted to go back to that too. When you said it,
Uh-huh.
when you were talking about what, like, what drew you to accounting and taxes? What?
All right. What drew me one, after I served in the military and I started working, just jobs.
Mm-hmm.
After 2 or 3 years, I said, no, I need a career. I need to define who I am, and I need to set myself up for success in the long run. Because me,
Okay.
I always think long run. Okay, but numbers was one of the best things that I had going for me, and I also, and I don't know if it's from being a Cancer zodiac, I have a lot of care in people and what I do, especially people that I know. So, being in accounting in the corporate world for so long, starting to understand everything that happens in numbers and accounting and taxes, you know, just started realizing so many people that I knew that had their own business didn't have an accountant. So
Mm.
many people I knew were going to places that they shouldn't have been going to in the first place to get their taxes done.
Okay.
So that's what drew me to doing what I do now,
Mm.
making sure people are educated and actually know what's going on. So like you said earlier, I give out the tape. I'm gonna let you know what it takes to get from where you want to be to where you're going, because it's all about education. I'm a lifetime learner, so I like to learn myself, and I try to treat people in that instance too. So I'm always trying to explain as much as possible, and I like to speak in layman's terms. All right, because I'm just a regular guy from Philadelphia. I'm not, I grew up in the street, but I went to school and did what I needed to do. So, you know, whatever level you on, I can probably come and talk to you on your level to make sure you understand what's going on, because that's what it's
Well, let me,
about, understanding.
I'm trying to tell you that I, for one, appreciate that. I truly, truly do. Just as Eric said, it sounds it makes sense.
Hmm.
And I shared with you before we went on the air. I said, Keith, I'm going to tell you right now. I can't wait to have this conversation because there's so much that I don't know and so much that I don't understand. But it makes sense that I wouldn't fully understand all of it, or most of us, because, like you said, it changes from year to year. So
Hmm.
much changes from year to year. So that makes so much sense. So
Hmm.
much sense. So,
Hmm.
what is one pearl of information? Well, you've given us so many, but
Hmm.
as we close this hour, what bit of financial advice will you reiterate or leave with us?
I'm gonna reiterate the benefit of working with professional accountants, whether it's personal or business. We live in a world that's forever changing, right? Everything that everyone loves to do, guess what? It's centered around money.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are the person that like to fine dine, travel to big places, you know, wear certain brands, you need to put that same effort into your finances, meaning paying for financial advice, paying for professional services, because having your financials together will only uplift you everywhere else. All right. And here
Mm.
at CK2 Financials, we work with people in all 50 states. All right. Whether it's personal or business, we have an office if you want to come in. And if you don't, we can do our business over the phone or over Zoom, live stream like we're doing right now. So either way, you can get any service you want done here at CK2 Financials.
I love it. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? So, family, for those of you who missed the information earlier, if you want to contact Keith, you can call him at 215 621 7936. Or you can reach out to him on his website, www.ck2financials with an S. That's plural.com. Yes. Family, here we are at the top of the next hour. Keith, are you hanging out with us as we talk all things sports?
I'm hanging out. I'm the financial referee. Y'all
That's
going
right.
from one subject matter to the next for me. I'm at home either way.
Oh, Chris is going to love this. Family, stay with us. We're going to take a short commercial break, and when we come back, see, I'm still there. When we come back, we're breaking it all down. I know you're ready for it. I know you are. Stay with us because we're coming right back.
It's the WURD Hot 60. Hot 60. Here's the hottest 60 seconds you missed this week on Evening Words.
Commissioner Sabir, you have an open invite. Anytime I'm on Evening Words, an open invite. Now, first, we do this thing called headlines and highlights. And so even before we delve into this story, I want you to, give me a sense of the accuracy of this headline in the Inquirer, because sometimes headlines, they overstate things or exaggerate things. But the headline is, the Philadelphia City Commissioners ousted their chair as they prepare to run the 2024 election. Can you gloss that headline for us, Mr. Commissioner?
So today at a meeting, the Philadelphia Commission, they voted me to serve as the chair. I was previously the vice chair, and I was voted 2-0 vote to serve as the chair for the upcoming elections.
And that's your hottest 60 seconds this week from Evening Words on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
LIHEAP grants through PGW are available, and 1 in 3 households in Philadelphia are eligible to receive up to a $1,000 grant to pay for their natural gas heating bill this winter. PGW has made it easier than ever to see if you're eligible and to apply. Simply text MONEY to 77037, call 215-235-1000, or visit pgworks.com/LIHEAP. PGW, helping ease minds this winter. Tune in to EcoWord Magazine, hosted by POC, the first Friday at 11 a.m. for the PA Lottery EcoWord Tip of the Day. Brought to you by PA Lottery, benefiting older Pennsylvanians every day.
What's on your to-do list? Pick up groceries? Water your plants? How about getting vaccinated? We can help you check that off. You've got this. The Aging and Disability Vaccination Collaborative, powered by U.S. Aging, has partnered with community providers to make getting vaccinated your easiest to do.
You've got this.
With local vaccine events, access to transportation, in-home vaccinations, and on-site healthcare consultations, protecting yourself and your loved ones is not a chore anymore. So if you're age 60 plus or a person with a disability, get your yearly dose of confidence today.
You've got this.
Because we've got you. A message from the Aging and Disability Vaccination Collaborative, powered by U.S. Aging. Learn more at yougottthis.usaging.org.
You've got this.
Funded by the U.S. Administration for Community Living through a grant to U.S. Aging. This does not necessarily represent the views of ACL or the U.S. government.
No young person should ever have to worry about having a safe place to sleep at night, or a warm meal to eat, or whether anyone cares about them.
But the reality is, 1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year.
But the good news is, there's an organization making a big difference. Covenant House.
For over 50 years, Covenant House has been helping youth in crisis and giving them the support and the tools they need to succeed in life.
I have no words to express how Covenant House changed my life. They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding.
When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, and love, most of all love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges, and their lives are transformed.
Covenant House is changing the lives of young people in cities across America.
To learn more, go to covenanthouse.org today. Thank you for caring.
Okay, how many people in here have ever been in love? I know that the guys gonna raise their hand, but how many of y'all ever been in love?
Seasoned singles, listen up. Word Radio is crafting a sophisticated and fun event for singles ages 40 and up. Mark Tuesday, February 13th from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. on your calendar for the Love and Life Connection event and live broadcast, hosted by Carol Riddick and Dr. Marquita Williams. at Bayou in West Philadelphia. This event will feature fun activities where you can meet new people and possibly make a love connection. The evening will also feature a live WURD version of the dating game. Some bachelors have already been selected, but we're looking for one special bachelorette. If you're a single woman aged 40 to 55, able to participate in person, and willing to go on a sponsored date with one of the bachelors, then complete the entry form on the Word website, WURDradio.com. Mark your calendars for the Love and Life Connection event, Tuesday, February 13th from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. at Bayou, 5025 Baltimore Avenue. Stay tuned for more details on event registration and tune in to Love and Life with Carol Riddick Monday through Thursday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. Celebrating Black excellence worldwide and bringing joy and power to the people. This is WURD 900 AM and 96.1 FM, Philadelphia. Streaming online on wordradio.com and the Word Radio app.
Let me tell you something, and don't you ever forget it. Success is nothing without someone you love to share it with.
You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hey there, family. Welcome back. Welcome to the top of the second hour of Love and Life right here on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. So you know what we do on Tuesdays in the 8 o'clock hour. Yes, yes, yes. It's the man himself, the man, the myth, and the legend. For those of you who are unaware, he is a radio personality, our very own beloved, a journalist, and college professor with more than 30 years of experience. He's covered the Super Bowl, World Series, the NCAA tournament, the NBA playoffs, and World Championship boxing, as well as other sporting events. Currently, he hosts his own sports show Saturdays right here on Word, the Chris Murray Report. And as our resident sports guru, he's agreed to visit the Love and Life family to share his perspectives on all aspects of the sports world. So, family, I invite you to the conversation with myself, Chris Murray, and Keith Carney. Well, hey there, gentlemen.
Hello.
Keith, I'm glad you're hanging out with us. Chris, you're muted.
Mm-hmm.
It was all of that
okay.
excitement. It was that excitement. That's what it was.
Yeah, it was. When you said gentleman, I was like, are you talking about Keith? You said gentleman. I mean, you know. I know you weren't talking about me.
Get out of here. Hey, Chris, I missed you.
I missed you too. Are you okay? I mean, you know, you didn't get too snowed in, did you?
No. Listen. Oh, family. So I did not share last week. I was planning to be here. It was planes, trains, and automobiles, but I had a few shows. I had a few gigs last week, and I got. Listen, when I tell you, my planes kept getting delayed and then canceled, and then all kinds of stuff. So. But here I am. Praise God. So I'm here. But I had some gigs last week. I was performing as well. So, but I'm back.
Nice.
I want to say I'm going to come out to one of your concerts. I am. You know, and I'm gonna be your biggest fan. You know,
Well,
I am your biggest fan.
Listen, you let me know what concert you want to attend and be my guest.
Let me know which one, Chris. I'm coming too. Coming too.
Yeah.
Well, as a matter of fact, I think in February, I'm doing the Nina Simone tribute again at South, if I'm not mistaken. So,
okay. Well, I'm gonna make a note. I don't have a pen on me right now, but I'm gonna make a note of it.
Well, we're going to talk, so that's all right. I will let you know.
Okay.
So then, okay, Keith, Chris, in February, and family, yes, I'll be back at South. We'll be doing our Nina Simone tribute again, and I think it's February 8th and 9th. Yes.
Okay.
I think yes. In any event, whew, so there's so much going on in our wonderful world of sports.
Mm.
Where do you want to start? Let me know where you want to start. I
I know, right?
mean, I got 60 minutes.
Take it away. How about, I mean, because there's so much, I don't know where to begin.
Well, you'll be happy to know that the Eagles have fired Brian Johnson, the offensive coordinator, for the.
You know, I was going, yes, I was going to ask you about that.
I was surprised you didn't break out to "Ode to Joy." Da, 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 da. I mean, I was surprised about that, man, because I'm gonna probably take I probably take a slightly different take from maybe some of my colleagues in the game, but there were a lot of things. I mean, I took a look at what Jalen Hurts was doing early in the year, even though the team was struggling on both sides of the ball. In those 10 wins, I thought that he won those games, and especially when they played the playoff contenders on that schedule. I mean, but at the same time, there were also times when there were lulls and he wasn't where he needed to be. But I also blame that on the coaching staff. Like the last 2 games of the season, like we didn't get a chance. Probably a good thing we didn't talk about the playoff loss. I mean, the coaches did. I wonder if Jalen or the coaches really prepared for the blitz that they were going to get, and they got it all night, and they had no clue as to how to stop it. And I think that, and you should have seen Jeffrey Lurie's face. Keith, you saw Jeffrey Lurie look like somebody, took his sandwich or something from school and all this other stuff. Looked like somebody just stepped on his feet and didn't say excuse me. I mean, that was just, I mean, it was an embarrassing performance. The defense, I was at an awards ceremony for the Philadelphia sports writers, and during the course of that, I ran into Jeremiah Trotter. Was the last stud linebacker that this franchise has had, and they really got to take care of that side of the ball. Of course, they fired Sean Desai and Matt Patricia. That's another one you can say Oda Joy to is not coming back. They really have to revamp this football team, and at the end of the day, they're going to keep Nick Sirianni because I think Sirianni has convinced them. There is a press conference tomorrow, but I think Sirianni, I guess, has convinced him that he's going to stay around, but he needs an offensive coordinator to help his young quarterback to continue to grow. And so, to me, if I had to pinpoint one thing as to why this season went bad, it's because it's poor coaching. Poor coaching. Players weren't as good as we thought they were. Jalen Carter, as a rookie, hit a wall because he hadn't played that many games in the season. And I don't know. Sometimes it's just one of those things where I think Jalen Hurts was a lot more hurt than he was. But also, a friend of mine who's been a friend of my show for a long time wrote an article that basically said that Hurts was at odds with his assistant coaches regarding the play calling. And the coaches just did not adjust to anything. I mean, Keith, am I right about, as a fan, you saw this. Did they adjust to anything? What did you see?
The last playoff game was the indication of the problem all season long. No matter what level of football you on, if you let this team do the same thing to you all day, that's poor coaching. That's poor coaching. No matter what players you have, if you put them in a position that they can't win, I mean, you're asking for a lot.
But we said that. We kept saying we kept saying the same thing every week. Poor coaching, and nothing was changing. And I don't understand if we know it. We can see it. Look from the outside looking in. why it was continuing to happen. I want to take a moment because some of our family members are waiting to join the conversation. One of our family members is on line one. Hello. Thank you for your patience and thank you for calling.
Yes, hello to everyone. Well, before I talk about sports, the gentleman that's there, I'll be coming in your business, sir, to look at you and to pick up the spirit and get my taxes done there. But under one condition, you have to buy a membership on Love for Love and Life with the producer, Nick and Cal, for this wonderful program that we have here. So you can look for me to come in maybe about a week from now. I'm waiting to get some more of my papers done. So I like the way you was talking. So, but remember that only if you get a membership.
Consider it done.
Okay,
Consider
all
it
right.
done.
Good brother, I want a rematch with you. When we was out West Philadelphia and we had the dance contest, I had you beat. And what you did, I did the huckleberry, I did the liquor slide, I did the washing machine, and you showed off. You did the split, causing me to lose my title. I want a rematch.
You did a split. I gotta see.
When you was in the line, no, you did.
I gotta see that. You gotta put that on YouTube.
He said you did the split. You did.
Me?
Like, what kind of split?
He said he wants a rematch, Chris.
He took what we were.
I did a split. I am not a dancer.
I had on the women. I'm doing the rapping and the women and with the women and dancing. And that, I got a rap name. My rap name is Pop Knows Something. I did it all. But Chris, me and you talked before about boxing, and I want to talk about the Enunciation, R.W. Brown Boys Club, and some street fights.
Yeah.
So my boys set me up. They said, look, Ryan, we got $100 better than you, champ. I said, watch his left hand, though, Ryan. I said, watch his left hand. He got a mean left hand. They said, Ryan, he can't touch you. But Chris, they didn't tell me that they betted $500 on the other guy.
Oh,
so I stepped up, Chris.
Okay.
Ding, ding. Somebody said, stick it.
That wasn't me dancing. I know that. I know you're talking about because
you wouldn't have stood a contest with me. But let me finish my sentence. And I'm shooting a jab. They said, Ryan, he can't touch you. Remember that $100, Ryan? I shot a left jab. Then I doubled up. He hit me, Chris. I said, what happened? He said, Ryan, man, you were knocked out over an hour ago. He doubled up on the right hand on you, Ryan. I said, I know when I was laying on the canvas, I thought they did the locker room over. They didn't know I never in the locker room. The champ, that's the hospital you was in. So watch it.
Yeah.
Run.
What? Okay, I can box it a little bit. But Chris, I want to have, I think I had it with you before. I know you would do with the new fighters. Tyrone Evans from South Philly. Tyrone, when he was very young, had Mike Evans down there. His father, his uncle, Ernie Evans, worked with the city with me. Benny Briscoe. What's his name? The other fighter. The other fighter come to me as I talk. But let me say this. So Frank Rizzo set up a boxing program whereby he would have all them like Kitten Hayward and all them guys go around to the recreation center teaching the men the art of boxing. But I wanted to ask you this question. Where did Muhammad Ali get that from when he was saying, I am the greatest? I'll be Joe. Where did that come from?
He got that from a wrestler named Gorgeous George because he wanted to be like
George. You're right. And what he did, he looked at that. But Ray Bundini Brown, he was his inspiration guy. When he fought Ken Norton, he wasn't going to get off the stool. His jaw was broke. And what did Ray Dundee Brown Dean say to him? He said, but Muhammad, you ain't no ordinary man. And Muhammad Ali jumped up and started jabbing and everything. The reason other people couldn't beat Muhammad Ali, he psyched them out. But Ken Norton, he couldn't do that with him. So who was the fight promoter? Now you got Don, ain't nothing new under the sun. Don King, he come in with the flag, that was his tactical approach. But when Joe Louis was fighting, who was the big man in the country at that time, the fight promoter? Do you remember that?
With Joe Louis, I do not remember that.
He would talk like this. Even they just said, Mike Jacobs, I'm bringing the brown bomber in. And, he was that type of. And the guy that helped to train Joe Louis was Blackburn. Blackburn fought against the real Jack Johnson. You remember that? I mean, you have the history of that.
Yeah, there is. As a matter of fact, Jack Johnson went to Europe and helped Max Schmeling.
One other thing,
in the first fight.
Part of my family, Star Muhammad, named Arnold Franklin, from out of South Philly. His parents left him on the Parkway, and it was the adoption agency out of South Philly that took him in and helped him. But the one guy, that one fighter, Gypsy Joe Harris, the reason, because Yank Darren had him, Joe Frazier, he had Kitten Haven, all them. And so he devoted all his time to Joe Louis. And they took and put Gypsy Joe Harris on Curtis Coates. Curtis Coates was the welterweight champ at that time. Curtis Coates quit in the ring, just like Roberty Duran. Because Gypsy, if you get some films on him, he was very unorthodox. And I'm going to go back, I'm zooming a little bit. Tyrone Evans out of South Philadelphia. He had a very unorthodox stand. He was hold his gloves up.
Ron, wait, I have to interrupt you for a moment, Ron, because I got to interrupt you for a moment because we have another family member that's waiting to join the conversation as well.
But anyhow, hey, look, love and life. Guess what? I ain't talking to none of the ladies out there. I'm gonna tell you why. The last lady I was at an event and talked to, and I dropped something on her. I said, lady, let me tell you something. I'll make you go into mental ecstasy. She said, I want to take you on a cruise. Okay. That's how bad Ron is.
Bye, Ron.
Okay, all right.
Oh my goodness. Thank you, Ron. How about that? Because I needed that laugh. Well, we have another family member on line 2. I thank you so much for your patience and thank you for calling.
I'd like to say, Mr. Ryan, love you, man.
We love Ron.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Respect.
Yes, absolutely.
We're going to take it back. First of all, Mrs. Birds, welcome back. The lady with the voice.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, we're going to take it to the Eagles, Jalen Hurts. Fast forward. Like all your premier quarterbacks, your Tom Brady's, Tony Romo's, Montana's, Warren Moon's, on and on. Quarterback coach. Gotta let him call a play. He's the cap mother team. Just like the refs. They know about offense, defense, who gonna win, who gonna do what. Give him the ball, give him the keys, and we gonna drive lecture. I love y'all.
Thank you so much for calling. Listen, family, you know I love y'all. Y'all just keep me going. I love it. To any of you who have just joined the conversation, well, you missed a whole lot. How about that? But welcome. You are tuned in to Love and Life right here on WURD. Ron, I am still chuckling. I am still giggling over here, okay? Because you are a mess. You are a mess. And James, thank you. Family, I do see your comments and I intend to share them. Yes, I do. Harold shares, Chris, you did a split. He needs that on video. Okay.
When did I do? I'm still trying to figure out when I did a split. Because I swear, if I did a split anywhere out here, the wife would be very angry with me. Because one time I tried to play the touch football league in West Philly and pulled a muscle, and she wasn't very pleased about that. That might have been the time. That might have been the time I did a split. That's the only time, not on the dance floor, not me. not the
Well,
kid.
Harold said he needs it on video if you did. Joey Dixon is joining us. Hi there, brother Joey. He shares vote, 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 and he's sending love to everybody. Malcolm shares that San Francisco game. That's what broke the Eagles. We're going to talk about that too when we come back from this commercial break. But I do want to share some more of our comments from our family members. Harry shares, Brother Ron is too funny. Yes, he is. And Malcolm shares, he's too much. And there's Harold's comment. If you did a split, he needs a video. Heather shares. Hi there, everybody. Pertaining to the Eagles, the game needed to change, and no offense or defense made any changes or adjustments to others recognizing what the team does. Yeah, we talked about that. Nothing. Heather, let me tell you, I was so frustrated because I felt like, why am I watching? This is the same thing. It's the same thing that keeps happening. Nothing changes, and we're all frustrated. And I know they hear our frustration. They've been feeling our frustration because we've not kept it a secret. But what can you do? What can you do? Harry shares, and we're going to talk about Joel. Joel, 70 points. We're going to talk about that. You know it. But what's it? Miss Roslyn, hi there, saying hello to you. She shares that Jalen is number one. He's better than the coach. All right. Family, listen, we're going to take a short commercial break. But when we come back, we're getting into all of that. We're going to talk about Kelsey because I have a question for you, Chris and Keith, about something Kelsey said, Jason Kelsey, that is. I want to talk about this logo as well, this rumor about the logo as well, because I know you heard that. We're going to talk about everything when we come back. So family, stay with us because we will be right back.
This is a public service announcement. The job search can be a difficult and frustrating process. Ward's Livelihood Initiative was designed to help you find the right opportunity for your next professional move. Check out these recent openings posted on the Livelihood job board at wordworks.com. The Public Health Management Corporation is hiring for several exciting roles, including a dental assistant, payroll manager, and home health occupational therapist. For more information on these jobs and others, go to wordworks.com and learn more about the Livelihood Initiative. Brought to you by Word Radio, progressive Black talk media.
Hey, Philly homeowners, did you recently receive your real estate tax bill in the mail? The city of Philadelphia has a special program qualifying homeowners can receive a one-time credit up to $500 added to their real estate tax account. It can be used for 2023 or 2024 tax bill, or as a credit for future years. Apply at phila.gov/council.taxcredit before January 31st, 2024. phila.gov/council.taxcredit.
At Donors Choose, we want students and teachers to have the tools they need for a great education. And now, more than ever, they need your support. Learn more at donorschoose.org.
Donors Choose. Support a classroom. Build a future.
No, what's the word, boy? What's the word?
WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
What is love?
You're listening to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
I think I know what love is.
Well, hey there, family. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life with yours truly, Carol Riddick, right here on WURD. We are talking with Chris Murray and with Keith Carney. We're talking all things sports in this hour. Yes, we are. We had a little comedy before the commercial break with our very own brother Ron. But so we started talking about the Eagles. We started talking about them letting go of offensive coordinator Brian Johnson. I was going to ask you your thoughts about that, Chris, and if you thought that was, a good move, if you thought that was something that needed to happen.
It needed to happen, and Brian Johnson's 36 years old, and I think he probably needed to go maybe he needs to go somewhere else. Maybe serve as an assistant coordinator. Someone just serve somewhere else and all that to get some mess. I hope he's not drummed out of the coaching profession. I just think that he's not the right coordinator for this team and for this quarterback. And when Shane Steichen was there, they helped Jalen play up to a certain level. I mean, Jalen's stats kind of went. The only real, he did throw more touchdown passes, one more touchdown pass than he threw last year. Now, he played in 15 games or 17, 16 games, but he threw more interceptions this year and just wasn't all the way there 100%. But it was inconsistent is probably the best way. Like I said, he had that stretch of games where I felt he put the team on his back. And sometimes he sometimes he did it because he struggled in the beginning, but he kind of fixed things along the way. Like I said, what happened to him, I think people, caught up to them. Nick Bosa of the 49ers basically said they did some things to, they gave everybody a template to beat Jalen Hurts. And if somebody says that, I would think that, if you were the coaching staff, you would come up with ways. You have to adjust. I watched all the playoff games this weekend. I saw every team blitz. I saw Lamar Jackson take the blitz. I saw Brock Purdy. And every team adjusted, even during the course of the game. When they tried to blitz Jared Goff the other day, I mean, every team adjusted. Heck, when they tried to blitz the Houston quarterback, C.J. Stroud, everybody adjusted. People adjusted to it. You couldn't blitz them all the time. And I'm saying to myself, why didn't they do this for Jalen Hurts? And the thing is, it's easy to say that the quarterback, in a bubble kind of regressed a little bit, but it's hard. I mean, I can say he has, but it's hard for me to say that because he did win those games. He did rescue the teams. And I went back over every game. I went to do his log. Did he struggle in some of those games? Yes. He struggled in the first game of the season. I mean, he brought him back. He scored touchdowns on the ground. He did what he had to do to win. But that model wasn't sustainable over time. And then when teams crash down on you and they finally beat you, you have to adjust. And that coaching staff did a poor job on the offensive side, did a horrible job on the defensive side. And it's just to a point. But they also got to get better players. And defense, they just got to get better players. Players are going to tackle. And that's the thing. So there's a personnel issue, but there was a huge coaching issue that that Nick Sirianni is going to have to address, and they're going to have to coach these guys. And like I said in one article I read, it wasn't nobody said it was Jalen's fault by any stretch of the imagination, but he had become kind of distant, and maybe this situation, distant from his teammates and coaches and all that, but maybe this situation, because Jalen's one of those guys that doesn't like to fail. And I think he's going to come back. He's the type of kid, if you know what this kid is made of, from his college days and all that, I do believe he's going to come back. And he has to come back, if anything else, just to, if he has any pride, he needs to put that chip back on his shoulder because everybody, again, is kind of doubting him again.
Key?
So my take on the season, I missed the initial question, but I'm gonna kind of follow up what Chris was talking about. In my opinion, I was talking to someone the other day. So the head coach either is an offensive coach or a defensive coach. All right, Nick Sirianni is an offensive coach. So that being said, we had two offensive coaches on our team, and the offense play calling was horrible. All right, we have arguably the best starting receivers and tight end in the whole league. So there's no reason why our offense should have produced the way that they did. And the good example was even I watched a route tree of AJ Brown. He had many games. Not one route was across the middle of the field where he's most explosive at. The first game of the season, they didn't even play Swift. Swift was a big upgrade from Sanders. They underutilized him this year. So like offensively, can't blame the quarterback. The play calling stank. Defense, however, the play calling was horrible. But on defense, we do need better players. They need to start investing in linebackers and safeties, because that's where our biggest problem was at. We couldn't tackle people and cover the middle of the field. So
That's a good point.
So coaching staff stinks. I'm so happy our coordinators is gone, but Nick Sirianni, he gotta step his game up, because he's an offensive coach and he should not let the offense go down the way it did.
Well, to that, Eric submitted a question before the conversation about Nick Sirianni began. He shares, "Hello, Master Murray. Welcome back. What are your thoughts on Nick Sirianni continuing on as head coach for the 24 season? Do you think we need a change, or to just stick with him and see how things pan out?"
Well, it's hard to fire a coach who's gotten you the playoffs 3 straight years, although the Milwaukee Bucks and the NBA just fired their coach. And,
there's a whole lot of coach firings going on.
Yeah, that notwithstanding, but I think Nick needs to go back to his own basics, or just find like I said, he had Shane Steichen last year to kind of be that guy to protect him from his own base, video game coaching instincts. And I think that he needs, and they need to develop plays, because AJ Brown is good over the middle. Devontae Smith can beat anybody, and a lot of times you need to use. They didn't utilize a tight end. They didn't use Dallas Goedert, throughout the year, and they need to put Swift, not only just have them run the football, but they need to get the ball out to him in space and everything. That's what will make the offense more explosive, because you put the ball in his hands, he can do special things with it in the passing game. I just think that their whole, and we kind of said it on this show, that their whole offensive approach was disjointed. It was just every, to quote Glenn Turman in JD's Revenge, everything went every which way. It just went every which way. And I'm sitting in bed. I'm usually talking to either G Cobb or OJ's Bobby, but I'm like, yo, what is this? We're looking at each other like, are you crazy? You gotta have a game plan. You gotta have a base. And as you're seeing in the playoffs right now, everybody's going, you gotta run the ball. You're gonna have to run that football. And that's what I just want to see this thing. I don't mind the passing game. If the passing game works one game, fine. But you gotta have balance, and you got to, get your game plan to the point to where they don't know, the other team, they don't have to know what's coming. You have to basically, maybe go, you can take Jalen Hurts, go one way, go back the other way. You can't just have the defense come at you. You got to basically mix it. If they're going to blitz, do a little misdirection, get them out of their lanes, confuse that secondary, to put guys in motion. They don't do that. And at the end of the day, you're not going to win in this league. You're not going to win. And like I said, people who are predictable, and Keith, I know you do a lot of high school football. You see when teams, can change up and adjust and whatnot. You've seen it and whatnot. I hope you didn't call to make penalties though. But I'm just saying. I'm just saying that from that standpoint, you can't be predictable. You got to be one step ahead of the defense, which is what they were if you saw it last year. They were always one step ahead. When they got to Super Bowl, they were always one step ahead of the defense, always last year. But people change. People watch you on film, and you have to adjust to what they're adjusting to.
How about that? Oh, family. So here we are. To those of you who have just joined us, welcome. You're tuned in to Love and Life, and we are talking about all things sports. Well, right now we're talking about the Eagles. But you know what we do in the 8 o'clock hour? We talk all things sports. I have a question. So remember after the Tampa Bay game, Jason Kelsey said he was going to retire. Remember he made that big, statement. So now he's saying his emotions were too high following that loss, and that they were too high to make a final decision. And do you think he was just being a hothead, or do you think he's seriously considering retiring?
I think he's considering retiring. But I also think it's the emotion of a postseason loss, and I think he had told one of the reporters that he was, he couldn't get he's feeling sore from those Wednesday meetings. It's almost like the older you get in this world, you start feeling those pains and all this other stuff. It's like I sometimes get up and I'm like, man, do I really feel like doing this today? And all that. I'd rather just stay home and lay down in bed. But I think it's the emotion. I think he wants to spend some time with his family. His younger brother is in the playoffs. As a matter of fact, the last time I saw Jason Kelsey, he was bare shirted in the cold weather in Buffalo.
Yes.
He ain't doing that, man. And people don't need to see me bare shirted anyway.
Well, let me tell you something. Our family members want to see this split that Ron talked about because they're commenting about this split. They want to see it, Chris.
I don't know where he saw me doing a split. Unless 10 years ago he was out at some park in West Philly watching me. Yeah, I did a split when I pulled a hammy trying to run an out route and everything, and got no sympathy from my wife. None.
Oh no! Don't you throw her under the bus publicly? Don't you do that? Don't you do that?
Well,
don't do that to the
She
missus.
doesn't, and she doesn't care because she always tells me, she says, I told you not to go out there and try and play football and all that. You're too old.
She said, leave that for the young folks.
Yeah, that's what she said too. I mean, she just told. I mean, and the thing is, I couldn't argue back because I knew it was true.
You knew she was right.
I knew she was right. But see, my mind. When you get to it, so you say, I can do it. You can do it. And the body's like, nah, man, we ain't doing that. So I didn't do a split, and I'm not going to.
Okay. Well, you hear that, family?
Not do a split.
Chris said he did not do a split. It wasn't him. He said it wasn't me. It wasn't me.
Somebody that
Ron
looked like
said,
me.
You listen. Ron said you did. I do want to share that Shirley Bryan, hey there, beautiful. She's checking in from Florida, saying good evening to the family. And Eric is throwing me under the bus. Look at that. He said Ron had you in tears. Yes, he did. Now he's got you cracking up. Yes. Ron is a mess. You all know that he is. You know that he is. And Ms. Rosalind shares that she would love to see that too, Chris. She would love to see you do a split. So I'm telling you, the family members are talking. I mean, we all want to see it. So I don't know. I do want to talk about Joel Embiid with those 70 points.
70.
I mean,
70 points.
What?
History.
I mean, that's history, and that was he broke Wilt Chamberlain's single game record. And I think Wilt scored 100 with the Warriors. I want to say, but the thing is that Joel Embiid. The only thing that I think people want to know if Joel Embiid can carry that to the playoffs, and he was playing that guy Webiana last night, who I think is going to be a great player in the league. But I just think that Embiid is playing at probably this is the best I've seen him in his career. But I'm not going to say that because the one thing he's kind of like I guess is what they're saying about Lamar Jackson in Baltimore. He's got to get the Sixers beyond the second round of the playoffs. He's got to get the Sixers. Because the last few years, the Sixers have been knocked out of the playoffs and all that. And so that's the only thing. But he's getting better. If he can bottle that performance for April and May for the playoffs and whatnot, the Sixers would be difficult to beat. And last night, I mean, I thought they were going to take him out, but the Spurs kept the game relatively competitive. But which is shocking, but but at the same time, people loved it. I mean, he just played really well, and but the thing is, the rest of the team. I think the rest of the team was the rest of the team is also contributing. If you can get Maxey and Tobias Harris, I mean, Maxey's playing at a certain. If you get Tobias Harris playing at a higher level like that on a regular basis, the Sixers will be difficult to beat. I think they can beat Milwaukee in the playoff series. Boston is another map. They can figure out a way to get to Boston. Maybe Boston will be tired by the time we get to them. In the playoffs, but
that sounded like a lot of hope, Chris. You like maybe.
Well, I have in a town full of negativity and inspired by you on this show, I do believe in giving people hope. See, I'm the one Philly fan who tries to look at the bright side of the picture. Of course, folks want to run me out of town, but that's okay. But sometimes you have to be a voice of reason and whatnot. I can't say that for some of the teams that I personally root for, because I'm not a voice of reason. But when you're an objective journalist, you have to be a voice of reason. And I think that, and have that spiritual groove, with the house, with the little house music vibe you have with the Lawrence Fishburne thing too. Need a little house music, jump things up and whatnot. But I'm just saying. Just saying that the Sixers. I mean, like I said, the Sixers have to work through these things. They got some. I think they're a good team, but like I said, we get Tobias to just be consistent, be aggressive, and take his shot, because everybody's talking about. And I talked to Keith Pompey about this a couple of days ago about whether or not they're going to. He suggested, Keith Pompey from the Inquirer. He suggested that the team not get rid of Tobias Harris, and that the chemistry they have is. Keith.
Yeah, I agree with that. I do agree. Well, wait. I want to hold that for one moment because we've got to go to commercial really, really quickly. When we come back, I want to continue this conversation because Keith, I want to hear what you have to say. But I also want to talk about this logo color scheme thing. It's all over the internet. Family, stay with us because we're coming right back.
Stand with Word Radio as we continue to provide dynamic, progressive programming to inform and empower our people. We're living in unprecedented times, and we must stand together to protect and preserve Black Talk Media. Become a 4Word member with the annual membership price of just $90, or a digital member starting at just $5 per month. If you're already a 4Word member, sign up, family member, or a friend to help us continue making history. Start or renew your 4Word membership today. Visit wordradio.com/4word or wordradio.com/membership.
Family Therapy Vignette Moments with Dr. Lucille Ijoy. Voting time in 2024. Yes, voting time in 2024. I hope you did your best and took a little rest. But now it's time to soar for us 2024. Yes, it's voting time. I said it's voting time. Gather women and men on whom you can depend. Take your friends who won't ignore. Because it's voting time in 2024. Say it with pride. I register, I vote, I must. You may have buttons that say, I register, I vote, I must. Say it on the radio, the TV, the cell phone, or the landline. I register, I vote, I must. This is Dr. Lucille Ijoy. I register, I vote, I must.
Tune into Word Radio this Thursday at 10 a.m. for City Council Live, hosted by Ernest Owens. Join conversations that matter to your community with your local City Council members.
Hi, this is Christina Ricci with RAIN. Join RAIN in the fight against sexual violence and volunteer in your community. Log on to RAIN.org, that's RAINN.org, to learn how you can be the someone.
Brought to you by RAIN and this station.
Let me tell you something, and don't you ever forget it. Success is nothing without someone you love to share it with.
You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Hey there, family. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life right here on WURD with yours truly, Carol Riddick. So here we are. We're in the last few minutes of the show, and we've got some more things to talk about. Before the commercial break, we were going to you, Keith, to find out what you thought about Tobias and Joel and the bond that they have and the whole team. The team as a whole, I should say. What are your thoughts, Keith?
Cool. Yes. So I'm a fan at 10 games. So I probably go to around 10 to 20 games, Sixers games, because nothing like being in person to see the view, because you catch things that the camera just don't catch. But being optimistic, like my man Chris said, I'm very optimistic about this team for the very simple fact that if you actually take away Embiid, Maxey, and Harris, we have a completely different team than we did last year. All the guys that actually logged the minutes, none of them played on our team last year except for Harris, Embiid, and Maxey. Maxey has actually stepped up his game and is contributing more and just being a more focal point on offense. And Embiid is continuing to do what he do, but yes, like everyone else, I like to see him play like that in the playoffs. All right. Now, the one thing I've seen of late, when he put up 70 on, I can't pronounce the big man name. Right before that, he played against the Joker, and he elevated his game. So it's like it has me believing I want the Sixers to play teams with a center in the playoffs, because Embiid seems to wake up when the competition is in front of him. But that being said, I definitely like how the Sixers is playing and where they're going. And the one thing that nobody is talking about the Sixers is the coaching. All right. So Doc had his issues, and my man Nick Nurse, he coming in getting up some good game plan. So I'm very optimistic about the Sixers team. New team overall, new head coach. I'm ready to see him. I'm ready to see him break that curse this year.
Yeah.
I feel that enthusiasm. I feel okay. Wait, you feel that enthusiasm, right?
Yeah.
We feeling it. Okay, so I want to talk about this whole Super Bowl logo color scheme conspiracy thing. Now, Chris, you're looking like, wait, what are we talking about? So it's been said that in 2021, like the reddish orange of the Bengals and the yellow hue from the Rams was in the logo. Now, last year it was the Eagles and the Chiefs team colors. So now this year we've got the purple and a shade of red. Now, what do you think? What are you thinking? Are they alluding? Are they saying? I'm gonna give you an idea. This is what it was, and this is what we're looking at for this year.
Yeah, that's interesting. I personally, I personally don't care about those things because I just want to see the game. I'm a guy.
Same here.
Now, I just want to see the game, and and I want to make sure my chicken wings. I'm going to learn how to make chicken wings on the air fryer this year, and that that's one thing, since I'm not going to cover the Super Bowl. But what I'm saying is, to me, yeah, I like the purple. If the Ravens make it, I will be happy with the purple.
I know that's your team.
I will be happy with the purple, but personally, I'm just like, okay, well, that's nice. The last thing, although I do have a refrigerator magnet with last year's Super Bowl logo on it. This guy for the house, for the wife, and souvenirs. You can stuff for the game. But I'm just saying that I'm not concerned about it. People are fighting over it over the internet, but I'm a meat and potatoes kind of guy. I don't care about. And Keith, I know you know, because like I said, like I said, I don't care about the colors. I just want to get to the game. I just want to get to the blocking, the tackling, the questioning officials' calls. No offense, Keith, but
it's okay.
but I want to get to that aspect of the game, looking at stats and all that stuff. I don't care about logo colors or pants colors or.
Okay. Well, you think we're looking at the 49ers and the Ravens?
Possibly. Well, I think the Lions. I like. I'm kind of there's a part of me rooting for the Lions because the Lions. Detroit is a city like Philly, like Baltimore. These are areas where we need all these cities need a boost of some kind and whatnot. Because like Baltimore, I think needs a boost. Detroit definitely needs a boost. It's good for the communities. It's good for Philadelphia too. It's good for these cities, these urban areas that get all the bad publicity to feel good about something that's not going to solve all the problems that we have in these areas. But it's just one of those things where you hope that it'll make people smile because I do believe in these times we have to smile about something. We gotta be happy about something, and don't get it twisted. I'm deep down inside a grouchy old man, and I'm cynical of the world. But but we do. But we do need some. But some. That's why we put our energy into our sports team. We want to win. We want to feel something other than the day-to-day drudgery that we have to get up,
drudgery.
Worried about, drudgery, worried about, I gotta pay this bill, I gotta pay my light bill and all this other stuff. And so you gotta basically, you wanna have something. Life can't be all about, we gotta have a little fun.
Well, I think that's fun. You know what? I think that's fun. I think that's why they do it. They give us something to talk about, something to play with, something, leading up as we're, at this point of where we are in the season. And look at that, Malcolm agrees. It's something to think about. It's definitely something to think about. Harry shares, I got no dog in this fight.
Yeah, colors of a logo to me means nothing. It's water under the bridge. That's
Okay.
something, like you just said, something to talk about. Somebody that had nothing to think about one day thought about this. All right.
Okay.
Because football is any given Sunday. Whatever
Oh,
team
shucks.
comes to play is going to win that day. No
You
matter
don't think
what
they rigged
happened.
games?
No matter what happened the prior year, it don't matter. San Fran, they not going to have a walk in the park with Detroit. And Baltimore
Okay.
definitely not going to have a walk in the park with the Chiefs.
Okay.
Any given Sunday this weekend coming up.
Oh, shucks. Oh, shucks. Okay, well, it sounds like we've got an exciting conversation coming up after this week. Family. OMG, look at the time. Heavens to Murgatroyd. Right, it's time to go. It is time to go. So, family, you all know how it goes. How it goes. You know how it goes. I just want to say thank you to you, Keith. Thank you, Keith, for hanging out. Keith hung out with us all night. He was in the first
good to
hour.
see you. Good to see
Man,
you.
when you told me Chris was coming on next, I said, "Wait, Chris Murray?
He
His
sure
wife
did.
named such and such."
He did.
I said, "Oh." When you said, "Do I want to stay?" That was a no-brainer. And we talking about sports. You missed it, Chris.
Yeah.
I tried to tell her. They called me the financial referee. I'm an accountant and a referee.
That's
We
right.
talked about that too.
And by the way, this is a shameless plug. My book just dropped. Just dropped the other day. In other words, I just got in the mail. Yeah. And here it is right here. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we need this. Come on now, Chris. What?
Yes.
What's the title?
The title is called First Draft: A Collection of Stories Chronicling Race, Sports, and Social Justice in the 21st Century.
How do we get it?
I have a link on my Facebook page. It's you can order it through Linus Publishing, but I will be sending out a link. I'm just getting because, like I said, I just got the thing in my hand the other day, and you can there's an electronic. I'm going to be posting a link on my Facebook page and also the URD's Facebook page as well. But I'm going to, and I think at some point I am going to have a formal signing. Right now, it's just a lot of things kind of hitting me. I got to get. Also, school starts next week, and
listen, I overstand. I do. Well, I want that link so I can share it with our family members here. Family, just praise God from whom all blessings flow. As we wrap tonight's episode, Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you to each and every one of you, everyone that tuned in, everyone that listened, everybody that thought about us, everybody that wanted to do so. How about that? Thank you to Keith. Thank you to Chris. Thank you to the entire WURD family. Thank you to Niall and Nick for all that you do always. Just condolences once again to the King family on the loss of Dexter Scott King, the son of civil rights leaders Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and Coretta Scott King. Family, remember, we're all in this together, so be good to you, but be good to those around you. Please, 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 and know that I love you, but God loves you so much more. You put that in your pocket. Have a great rest of your night, and be sure to join me Monday through Thursday, 7 till 9 p.m. Eastern Time for another edition of Love and Life right here on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. Have a good night, family.